Many of us have experienced the hurt of being dismissed or overlooked by someone important in our lives. It's painful when a loved one doesn't seem to value us or make us a priority. But there are effective strategies from Stoic philosophy that can transform these dynamics and make people eagerly want you in their lives. In this video, I will share 13 essential rules based on Stoicism to become truly engaging and compelling to others. Pay close attention, as each rule is crucial for shifting relationships so you are treasured and prioritized. We'll share real examples of historical figures who embodied these principles to inspire you. It is important to watch the entire video in order to not miss any important points. If you've ever felt insignificant, this video will equip you to turn the tables so you captivate those around you as an unforgettable, magnetic presence. Let's begin. Rule number 1, cultivate an air of mystery. The attraction of what is not yet understood triggers our curiosity. As the Stoic Seneca stated, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." Use this as your guide. Be present yet retain an air of mystery. In conversation, reveal yourself gradually, allowing others to weave their interest into the gaps. This approach makes you appear as a puzzle that others are eager to solve. Unraveling mysteries is human nature. Cleopatra is an enigma, not just because of her beauty and power, but also because she veiled her true motives. Make your words and actions appear unpredictable, like a winding path through uncharted territory. This unpredictability will attract others, drawing them closer to you to try and understand you better. By not revealing everything about yourself right away, you encourage them to explore and learn more about you. In essence, your life is not an open book that anyone can read, but rather a fascinating journey that others have the opportunity to be a part of. This helps you maintain an air of mystery that adds to your allure. Rule number 2, instill a fear of losing you. It's human nature to overlook the easily accessible, but that flips dramatically when there's a risk of loss. Envision yourself as irreplaceable in their lives, whose absence leaves a gaping void. You are not just another option, but a vital necessity. How? By embodying independence and self-reliance. Your life is already stimulating and fulfilling with or without them. This confidence and autonomy is magnetic. Being part of your world becomes not basic entitlement but cherished privilege. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Marcus Aurelius. This quote emphasizes the idea that happiness comes from within and is not dependent on external circumstances. By cultivating a positive and grateful mindset, we can find contentment and satisfaction in even the most challenging situations. Your power lies in your self-sufficiency and the unique adventure that is your life. People see that you don't desperately seek their attention, but are a formidable presence they want to keep. Consider the co-founders of Apple, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Jobs recognized Wozniak's engineering brilliance and worked tirelessly not only to collaborate with him, but also to amplify his role. Wozniak was not just a co-founder, but an essential force whose loss would significantly impact their vision. This demonstrates that recognizing and valuing unique contributions makes one irreplaceable. Rule 3, manifest your own happiness. Epictetus was born a slave but eventually gained his freedom and became a great teacher of philosophy. One day, a wealthy man came to visit Epictetus and asked him how he could be happy. Epictetus replied that happiness comes from within, and that external circumstances do not determine our happiness. To illustrate his point, Epictetus told the story of a young boy who had lost his favorite marble. The boy was heartbroken and searched everywhere for the marble, but he could not find it. His friends tried to console him by giving him other marbles and toys, but he remained sad. Epictetus then asked the man, "What do you think the boy should do to find happiness?" The man replied, "He should find his marble." Epictetus smiled and said, "No, the boy should learn to be happy without his marble. He should learn that his happiness does not depend on external things, but on his own attitude and perspective." This principle states that true joy emerges from within, through self-confidence, satisfaction, and independence. Instead of relying on others for fulfillment, nurture it yourself. This self-assurance and independence has irresistible appeal. By radiating confidence and positivity, you become naturally magnetic. In creating your own happiness, you send the message that you don't pursue completion through someone else. You are already whole. This is compelling because your aim is not to extract joy from them, but to share the profound happiness you've cultivated, enhancing their life. As Seneca stated, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. This quote encapsulates generating your own happiness. Despite facing personal tragedies, Theodore Roosevelt embodied this principle by pursuing vigor and service. His zest for life stemmed from internal resilience and made him greatly admired. Rule 4. Be high value and let them invest in you. Understand that you are a rare find, a gem others should feel blessed to possess. But true appreciation emerges from effort. As they devote their time, emotions, and energy, their attachment strengthens, transforming you from a passing interest into a treasured presence. Your purpose isn't to crave for someone's affection and validation, but to demonstrate how you enhance their life and are deserving of their sincere pursuit. Let them put effort into you, making your presence a valuable part of their world. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction." This quote captures your value, not only in existing, but also in being ardently pursued. Alexander the Great, known for his unbridled ambition, recognized the immense wisdom of his tutor Aristotle and understood that it would be pivotal for his empire building. He invested heavily in learning from him, and this was not just a casual student-teacher dynamic, but an earnest pursuit of a treasured asset that was pivotal to Alexander's legendary conquests. Rule 5. Don't orbit your life around them. There was a young boy who had a prized possession, a clay cup. One day he was playing with the cup when it slipped from his hands and shattered into pieces. The boy was heartbroken and went to his teacher for comfort. The teacher took the boy outside and gathered a group of other children. He then asked the boy to collect all the pieces of the cup and put them back together. The boy tried, but it was impossible to restore the cup to its original form. The teacher then asked the other children to share their own possessions with the boy, so that he could find a new treasure to cherish. The boy was amazed and grateful for the kindness of his classmates, but the teacher didn't stop there. He then asked the boy to give away his newly acquired treasures to others who might need them more. The boy hesitated, but then realized the lesson his teacher was teaching him, that possessions and people come and go, and it's important not to become attached to them. The story tells the importance of not orbiting around others, as the boy had to learn to let go of his attachment to his prized possession. By doing so, he was able to open himself up to new experiences and opportunities. Epictetus would have agreed with this lesson, as he believed that we should focus on what we can control, which is ourselves and our own thoughts and actions. He taught that we shouldn't become too attached to external things like possessions or people, as they can be taken away from us at any time. Instead, we should focus on developing our own inner strength and resilience so that we can handle whatever life throws our way. This mindset allows us to maintain our independence and individuality, which is crucial for living a fulfilling and meaningful life. Picture yourself as a lone, luminous star, fueled by your own unique light. You have your own trajectory, independent of anyone's orbit. It's crucial not to let your world narrow down to one person at the center. You have your own dreams, goals, and identity. This mindset creates an alluring mystique, keeping them curious about what drives you. As Marcus Aurelius said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." This resonates with maintaining independence in relationships. Consider Isaac Newton, whose universe-altering work dominated his life, yet he stayed immersed in rich friendships and interests. This shows the value of work-life balance and individuality. Rule 6. Prioritize your own needs first. Epictetus once shared a powerful story to teach the importance of prioritizing one's own needs first. In the story, a man was traveling on a ship when a storm hit, causing the ship to capsize. The man was able to grab hold of a wooden plank and clung to it for dear life. As he floated in the vast ocean, he saw a piece of driftwood floating nearby and decided to grab it as well, thinking it would offer more support. As time passed, the man began to tire and realized he couldn't hold on to both the plank and the driftwood. He had to make a choice. The driftwood was less stable and would not support him as well as the plank, but it was easier to hold on to. The plank was more reliable, but it required more effort to hold on to. In the end, the man made the difficult decision to let go of the driftwood and hold on to the plank, even though it required more effort. He knew that holding on to the unreliable driftwood would only put his life in danger. Epictetus used this story to teach the importance of prioritizing one's own needs first. Just as the man had to make a difficult decision to prioritize his own survival over comfort, we too must prioritize our own needs and well-being over the fleeting comfort of others. By doing so, we assert our worth and refuse to settle for less. We make it clear that we won't tolerate belittlement or permit anyone to jeopardize our self-worth. In turn, we foster healthy, respectful relationships grounded in self-honor and live a fulfilling life. In any relationship, it's essential to assert your worth and steer clear of situations where you're devalued or disrespected. Your happiness and dignity are non-negotiable to someone who doesn't treat you properly. By prioritizing your needs and bliss, you make a clear statement. You won't tolerate belittlement or permit anyone to jeopardize your self-worth. In every partnership, you are an equal, with your own emotions and needs holding utmost importance. Remember, your goal isn't seeking others' approval, but fostering healthy, respectful bonds grounded in self-honor. As Aurelius said, it is not events themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about them. Rule 7. Your perception of situations is key. One day, a wealthy man came to Epictetus and asked him to teach his son about the importance of perception. Epictetus agreed and asked the boy to walk with him through a crowded marketplace. As they walked, Epictetus pointed out to the boy the different people and their behaviors. He pointed out a beggar who was happy and content with his situation despite having nothing. He pointed out a wealthy merchant who was unhappy and constantly worried despite having everything. Epictetus then asked the boy what he learned from this experience. The boy replied, "I learned that happiness does not come from wealth or possessions, but from how we perceive and react to our situation." Epictetus smiled and told the boy that he had learned well. He then explained to the boy that our perception of situations is key to our happiness and success in life. He taught him that we cannot always control our circumstances, but we can control our reactions to them. Lucius Quinctius Cincinnatus chose to return to his farm, despite being offered immense power, exemplifying unwavering commitment to personal values and needs. As Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This speaks to valuing your own path over the anxiety of missing out. Rule 8. Let them initiate sometimes. This rule focuses on balanced communication. Constantly being the conversation starter could unintentionally convey desperate eagerness or too much open availability. Let them initiate sometimes, demonstrating mutual care through reciprocation. As Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In communication, this means not mirroring imbalanced behaviors that leave one underappreciated. It's about self-respect by refusing to relentlessly chase attention that should be mutual. Rule 9. Don't be too emotionally attached. This rule focuses on emotional equilibrium in relationships. It's vital not to let feelings dominate relationship dynamics, ensuring your needs are heard and respected. The goal is striking the right balance between sharing emotions and retaining rational composure, so your worth shines through clearly. Intense emotional expression can sometimes blur one's value. As Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." This captures Rule 9's essence, exercising patience and control over emotional reactions. Rule 10. Be willing to walk away. Being prepared to exit a relationship failing to honor your worth is Rule 10's crux. It stresses the non-negotiable need for self-respect and clear standards for how you expect to be treated. When these are unmet, you must gather the courage to move on, regardless of emotional attachment. This isn't callousness but self-care. Proving treatment as anything less than a priority warrants withdrawal. In showing readiness to leave, you send a powerful message that you are serious about requiring reciprocity and prioritizing you. This can prompt understanding about the gravity of the situation and need to value you better going forward if they want you to stay. The goal isn't desperately clinging to one-sided bonds, but cultivating mutual care and respect. As Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. This captures Rule 10's spirit. Your inner power and self-honor reside within your control, even when relationships falter. Consider Marcus Aurelius himself. Despite his status, he distanced himself from political alliances misaligned with his principles. This exemplifies willingness to withdraw from situations compromising one's integrity or failing to reciprocate care and priority. Rule 11. Adopt an abundance mindset. The essence of this rule is avoiding scarcity thinking when it comes to relationships. Seeing romantic possibilities as limited can pressure you to cling to unsatisfying bonds. Shift to an abundance mentality instead. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca stated, "Nothing is burdensome if taken lightly." This applies to perceiving relationship options through a lens of freedom rather than restriction. There are countless prospects for meaningful connections. Holding this expansive outlook allows you to disentangle from those not meeting your needs without dependency. Abundance thinking also boosts your magnetism. Feeling deprived makes people needy and desperate, but viewing opportunities as unlimited allows confidence in your capability to attract wonderful partnerships when the time is right. Knowing someone who ignores you isn't your last chance frees you to walk away, holding out for reciprocity. Self-reliance is key here too. As Seneca said, "The best ideas are common property." Remember, your sense of worth and completeness exist within, not from others' validation. From this inner stability flows the strength to detach from unsatisfying bonds through understanding better awaits. The right people will recognize and respect your value. Rule 12. Avoid exaggerated displays of affection. Bombarding someone with extreme displays of affection tends to push them away or lead to taking you for granted. It can imply desperate emotional hunger due to believing attention is scarce. As the Stoic Epictetus stated, "Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not." This ties to avoiding over-the-top gestures stemming from scarcity fears. Demonstration should match the relationship's genuineness. Premature intensity risks smothering budding bonds before they fully form. So be warmly responsive but delay gushing. This pulls others closer through enigma, not pushiness. Follow English philosopher Francis Bacon's advice. "He that will not apply new remedies must expect new evils." Here, remedy exaggerated affection with restraint as the new solution that attracts, not repels. Rule 13. Make respect the foundation. As Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius declared, "Respect becomes concrete only when we grant to others the same rights we claim for ourselves." This final rule issues a challenge. Demand nothing less than reciprocity of care and honor in all bonds. If someone continually overlooks or devalues you, walk away with dignity regardless of history. As painful as withdrawal may be initially, remember that Marcus Aurelius himself disassociated from alliances breaching his principles. No one merits trampling your self-worth. Focus on those demonstrating mutual investment through actions, not empty words. Respect breeds respect when consistency underlies professed claims of devotion. Promise only what you can fulfill, while expecting nothing less in return. Let shared reverence for each other's needs be every affiliation's cornerstone. Those committed to uplifting you will emanate through treatment affirming your worth. Tether yourself solely to relationships reflecting back your radiance. Anyone dulling your shine proves unworthy of access to your light. The path awaits. Walk it with only those dedicated wholly to illuminating. We've covered 13 key strategies, including maintaining intrigue, selective availability, letting others earn your company, and prioritizing self-care. It's vital to balance emotional openness with stability and have the courage to depart one-sided bonds, no matter the history. This wisdom isn't about chasing attention, but forming healthy connections grounded in mutual honor. If you ever feel insignificant, remember, you can require reciprocity and walk away from those failing to prove it through their conduct. Your value deserves no less than relationships lovingly committed to spotlighting your worth. We hope these principles equip you to transform how you're treated for the better. Commit to one rule resonating most to start applying it immediately. Comment below. Which point resonated with you the most? Your comment will serve as a reminder of your dedication to implementing these rules in your life successfully.